and welcome back to our top 10 list of neighborhoods in 2024 for Denver. And coming in at number one is Wash Park. And we're going to talk about why people want to live in Wash Park, what makes it such a popular neighborhood, especially to be number one on our list of neighborhoods in Denver. We're going to talk about its amenities, its shopping, restaurants, where it is, your commute times, and of course, its real estate. So let's just jump right into it. So Wash Park is divided into two neighborhoods essentially, even though when people say they live in Wash Park, they don't distinguish between living in Wash Park East versus Wash Park West. Wash Park West is to the west side of Wash Park here, and the more formal Wash Park is located on the east side, which encompasses Wash Park. But it's a pretty big neighborhood from I-25 all the way up to First Avenue there, essentially, from Downing over to University. So it's a big footprint of a neighborhood. So starting off with crime and safety, we are unfortunately higher than the national averages for usually motor vehicle thefts and burglaries. However, here in Wash Park, what I've noticed is that the motor vehicle thefts are down significantly, where burglaries are up. We're below the national averages on theft, and then we're below the national averages on violent crimes, which is pretty much the Denver norm. I find Denver to be a fairly safe city. Now, if you're going to take your in-home school options for Wash Park neighborhood, not a bad idea. They are some of the top rated schools in the state, with Steele Elementary coming in rated as a 9 out of 10 on greatschools.org, which is about as high as you can find in Denver. Merrill Middle School as a 7 out of 10, which is very highly rated for a middle school. And then South comes in at a 5 out of 10. However, it's actually a really nice school. I'm surprised the rating comes in as low as it does for the South High School. And by the way, thank you for joining me. My name is Alex Saldani. If you're new to this channel, I've been a local Denver real estate agent since 2010. I love answering your questions, so feel free to comment below. If you got questions, just feel free, call, text, reach out. I'd be happy to chat with you about anything in the Denver real estate market. And now one of the biggest appeals to living in Wash Park is going to be, once again, which continues the trend of the most popular neighborhoods around Denver, is having its own little kind of downtown-ish area, right? When you have a neighborhood and within that neighborhood, you have your own little restaurants and bars, coffee shops to go to, those neighborhoods tend to rank highest on our top 10 list, and Wash Park is no different. So if you lived in Wash Park, you can come here and see this little chunk of restaurants here in kind of the southeast part of town has this awesome little feel to it. We can go ahead and take our Google guy and drop them here, and we can see, this is where you have the Wash Park Grill. This is where you have a bunch of boutique shops to it. Reaver's Bar and Grill. You've got Max Gill and Grill, which is one of our favorite seafood places around Denver, and just an awesome little downtown feeling nook. So you can get together with your friends and family without feeling like you have to leave your own neighborhood. You don't have to cross any busy streets, and it's a huge draw to living in the Wash Park neighborhood. Not to mention, Wash Park is just the quintessential park in Denver. I mean, it's our comparison to Central Park in New York. I know they're not anywhere the same, but you do have your water in Wash Park. You've got your loop around, which I think is like 3 to 4 kilometers around the park. So tons of people constantly running, rollerblading, biking, walking their dogs. It is an expansive park, and the park overall is an entire mile north to south by about quarter mile east to west. So it is huge, and it's got pockets of tennis courts, pickleball courts galore, volleyball setups. Like, you can just have your own little peaceful spot in this park. No matter how many other thousands of people are here, it is literally that big. And that's one of the biggest draws to the Wash Park neighborhood, which is not much of a surprise. Now, if you had to commute out of Wash Park, if you had to head down to the tech center, you're looking at about a 15-minute drive. If you have to head to downtown, again, a 15-minute drive. And if you have to head out to DIA, you're looking at about a 35 to 40-minute drive. Pretty common for anywhere in Denver. Now, what's going on with the real estate? Wash Park is a fun one because it's got a myriad of properties, lots of older properties, big, expansive, new build properties of $3, $4, $5 million. We're going to look at a few, but starting with some of the important statistics here with number of sales. So In Wash Park in 2023, there were 151 properties sold, which is down from 198 in 2022. So a significant drop in the amount of properties sold, which is pretty common for 2023 with interest rates. Then looking at the closed median price, one of the highest in Denver at 1.75 million versus 2022 at 1.37 million. That is a huge jump in the median close price from 2022 to 2023. Kind of surprisingly big. Then on the rent to own numbers, it's one of the highest ownership neighborhoods in the city with 85% ownership, over 15% as rentals. And then the days on the market, even though the median home price is one of the highest in Denver, we're still only on the market on average for 31 days versus in 2022 at 22 days. So if you're looking in the Wash Park neighborhood, you still got to move fast on things because the average days on market is just at about a month. And then if you were looking to move into the Wash Park neighborhood today, this is what you're going to see. We're going to start with the affordable pocket, which is kind of in the northwest side where there's a number of condos. And we can take a look at here at a 1-bedroom condo, 525,000, 1,000 square feet, and it's moderately updated. This is a nice condo on the north side of the park. And a lot of these condos here in this building have views of the park, which is phenomenal. HOAs are not going to be cheap here at $400 a month. But to get into Wash Park at $525,000 is a pretty good deal. Then we've got something here, a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, $315,000, 640 square feet, so on the smaller side. But for a single person or a young couple, this isn't a bad option. It needs work. It needs to be updated. But to be in Wash Park in the $300,000 zone, it's not too bad. HOA, again, $330 a month, so not too terrible. Then we get into everything else. So this pocket is virtually offsetting everything else in the neighborhood. If we were to get rid of this, I bet you the median price would rise by a good 10 to 20% because everywhere else we can see $4 million here on High Street. 5,200 square feet, new build home, beautiful, beautiful property. It's just everything you could possibly want out of a new build home. Large, expansive kitchen, designer touches throughout. Now, this was built in 1977, so I'm assuming it was originally potentially a ranch. They popped the top, did a full remodel on the rest of it. Just my gut is saying that on that just because I know the neighborhood so well. So heading a little bit east of the neighborhood, we've got this property at $4.2 million, built in 2023, new build, 5,200 square feet, wall of windows, designer touches throughout. Beautiful new property, and this is what you're going to see for new builds in Wash Park. And you can kind of have your pick because there's quite a few of them out there. So if your budget was $5 million, we could have a good shopping list of stuff to go look at. So we've got one here, $2.475 million, 3,600 square feet, so a little bit smaller than the last one, hence the price difference. And again, new build home. Now, this one actually might be a duplex split into two, so it might be considered multifamily. So that would make sense on the pricing side of things. New home, though, so if you want a little bit lower maintenance, for less than $5 million, that might be up your alley. If you want to look out over the park here, we've got this older home built in 1890 for $3 million, 2,300 square feet. Big lot, it looks like. On the inside, it's not updated to the nines throughout. Still keeps a lot of the original charm to the property, but you could put some money into this place, and being that you're looking out directly over the park, there's just not many properties like that in the park area. So yeah, you're going to need a new kitchen, new bathrooms, but at $3 million to be literally on the park and on the less busy side of the park. So Downing is the more busy side. That's the through street, where Franklin is not a through street. So you really only drive on there if you're going to the park and you live in the neighborhood. Heading towards the south side here, let's take a look at another showstopper, $4.5 million, built in 2018, 5,800 square feet. Beautiful kitchen. It looks like it's straight out of a magazine. And so it's not going to disappoint. Big old 5-piece bathroom, steam showers, and soaking tubs. Just an incredible property here. And on the further south point of the neighborhood, let's take a look at this. So this is an older Tudor home built in 1932. 1.6 million, 3,100 square feet. So this has more of the original charm to it, has not been scraped, which is good. What you're going to find on the southern end of the neighborhood is that a lot of these properties were not scraped. They were just kept as older homes, but then fully updated on the inside. And looking through, looks like they've done a lot to the property, but still kept a lot of the old features. Maybe it was updated 20, 25 years ago or so. So still a nice kitchen, but not brand new cabinets or countertops, still stone countertops, but just not brand new. And there you have it, wrapping up our top 10 list of neighborhoods in Denver in 2024. And if you missed any of them, be sure to watch this playlist here. We've got all 10 of them coming from 10 down to number 1. And if you have any questions, feel free, reach out, call, text, nights, days, weekends. I got you covered. Until the next time, happy housing.